Okay. So, loop number 61. Let's see. I'm actually... This is the first stream where I'm considering that we may actually be done today. Like, it's not a high probability, but it is enough of a chance that I have planned for it. It's Wednesday, my dude. You're right. You're saying this as if I had to remember a thing that I need to do on Wednesday. What is that? Okay, so let's see. We have these subsurface energy readings that don't connect to anything, really. What did we have here? I found the Nomai shuttle almost completely encased in ice. The Nomai landed on the interloper not long after its arrival in the solar system. The shuttle's equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. There were 3 Nomai aboard the shuttle. One of them stayed behind to keep the shuttle warm, while the other 2 explored the interloper. Clary, the Nomai who stayed behind, lost contact with the other 2 after they descended below the interloper's surface. A huge cylindrical structure that generates a strong upward gravity field. I recall the Nomai shuttle from the interloper. And that's all there is about it, apparently. Otherwise there would be a bubble playing otherwise, but you seem to have that covered. Yeah, it's... okay. Never mind. The shuttle's equipment ran strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. 2 of the Nomai located a fissure in the ice on the interloper's somewhat side. They descended inside to investigate. See, that's the theory that Hobby Blobby posed, that I should go in there during a sun transit and see if any of the ice melts away, or at least... Where's the interloper right now? Okay. I can see it, I'm coming around it, I'm meeting it on its course. Or maybe not that close to the sun, but... It's Wednesday and frog is a meme, I see. I'm not aware of that, like, in the slightest. Okay, this guy. We want to meet him. I'm wondering if I can even... See, it's Wednesday and frog is a meme. The only... Well, I mean, I know some weekday-related memes, like Tuesday is coming, did you bring your coat? And obviously that terrible Friday song from over 10 years ago at this point. But it's Wednesday? Doesn't ring a bell. Okay, so we're putting on the ship. Like this. Are we... We are coming to a standstill. Yeah, so this might very, very well kill me. But we should be approaching the sun by now. We're still a ways off. But not to worry. We are here very early. Isn't this like... I think the interloper makes 2 sun transits during the loop. And one is rather early. We are... How do I zoom out? Yeah, we are coming up on it. Oh, it's doing an orbit around both the sun and the white hole, it seems. Hold on, does a white hole actually pull you in terms of gravity? I think it should be the opposite of it, that it pushes you away because it's the opposite of a black hole. Okay, we are passing by Brittle Hollow. Okay, that's not an issue. It looked that we were hitting into it for a bit. Now we're going incredibly slow. I'm just sliding all over the place, it seems. Yeah, so if there's any fissure that I can go into, I feel it must be the stuff in front here. But the other thing is, if it's a fissure that the Nomai were able to get into, then it must have been here a while ago already. So this is definitely the sunward side. It's definitely the one that's covered in rocks. Ooh. Oh, it is melting away. Okay, we need to get back to the front, and quickly, before we get frost. No, no, no! Oh no, no. I underestimated the gravity of the sun. No. Fuck. We are not making any grounds to come... Well, we are... It's already sealing back up. Okay, that's screwed over. Let's try that again. Let's try that again right away. Okay, I know what I need to do now. Give it up for loop number 62. I know what I need to be doing. My main theme for today is going to be obviously doing all the things that are still open, all the open questions, and more specifically doing all the open questions that don't require me going near an anglerfish. Because I had a strong temptation to look up if it's even possible to get past these two anglerfish near the vessel. In my mind, it's like a toss-up at this point. It could be both. It could be possible, it could be impossible. I've resisted the urge, barely. Barely. I was already on the Outer Wilds Wiki's front page, and I stopped myself. We'll see. No anglerfish cuddles. Well, they are very intent on cuddling me, that's correct. But don't you dare decall on me. Well, maybe we have to go back. Exactly, nay for spoiling. I mean, at some points, I had places already where I was just, when I was playing Link's Awakening, for example, and some of the puzzles that were in hindsight very simple, but I was just too dense at the time to understand what was going on. And I did end up using a walkthrough because I figured it's not a whole lot of fun to have me staring at something that I don't see the obvious solution to for... Hold on, let's actually... We have some time before we encounter the sun. Let's actually put this down on the far side of the comet. If we can. Like where the other shuttle is located also. Yeah, we can just use that thing to slide through here. And put it down here. Are we put down? I can see shit here. I'm assuming my ship is put down. That appears to be the case. Now we're going to the front. And we're waiting for some melting action. This time I will know not to fling myself too hard. Looked some minor things up for my playthrough and still regret it. I see. Yeah, that's... I think with this game, with this type of game, it's particularly egregious when you spoil yourself like that. There's our bypass of Brittle Hollow. Then we'll have the bypass of the twins. Yeah, we're missing Timber Hearth, but we're coming up on the twins. So once we come by them, we will start to get close to the sun. I'm wondering how that actually works, because it does freeze back up when we are away from the sun. Which doesn't really make all that much sense, because if it evaporates into a gaseous state, or gaseous, then how does it come back to the meteor that quickly? Okay, here's our twins bypass. Oh, it's already melting up. Okay, we're being flushed down the drain. Ghost matter detected nearby. Okay, we know how to do this. Yeah, that's... I'm hoping... Oh no. What is this? Oh no. Oh no. I should be careful about going in too far here. But we do have trees here, which is fantastic. Okay, we have a recording, first of all. I'm receiving much stronger energy readings now that we're beneath the crust. Whatever it is must lie somewhere below, closer to the comet's center, and I'm starting to think it's more dangerous than we realized. Clary, can you hear us? Yes, but your voices are faint. I fear we will lose communication entirely if you continue any deeper. Keep the shuttle warm for us, Clary. We'll return the moment we identify the source of the energy readings. I understand, but be cautious, both of you. I always, from these things, I always get the impression they're like Big Mac boxes. Which is completely nonsensical. Okay, so where can we go? Let's do... Oh, it's like multiple paths. Can we send it down the other side? Oh, it's always going down the other drain. Okay, so that's an option. Let's actually see what's at the bottom. I feel like there's going to be one way that we actually can go. Oh? Oh? Okay, down the drain we go. I should actually put on my flashlight. Oh no. Whoa. Okay, so we have a stop here. Okay, so this... This is huge in here, holy shit. No, I want just photo mode for now. While I can walk, I want photo mode. Okay, we want to go... Oh no. I see what's going on. Okay, we need to go... right, left, right. If I was seeing this correctly. Where is this thing going? Once again, right. This one left. Then it goes... Yeah, it's going to the right still. Is it actually progressing though? It's still sliding and sliding. And it's continuing to fall into the wrong end. Oh, we have some dead Nomai there. Right, left, right. Here goes nothing. I'm boosting against the slope all the time to get as much time as possible. Okay, we need to go over this. Okay, okay. Stop it. Oh, there we go. Oh no. Is it safe down there? Okay, so this is safe, but we may need to stop our fall there. Okay, it looks worse than it is. What the fuck is this? We're floating, okay. the crystals are growing out of their suit, or potentially their body. Getting a really good look at them this time. I mean, we had floating nomai also in the seeds, but not in full color, I think. I want to... The spherical stone casing here seems to be the source of the energy readings. No, rather the source is what's within the stone. I'm detecting some form of exotic matter. You already started. Where are you currently? I'm following your suggestion. I'm in the interloper. The ice did actually melt off a bit during the sun transit, which I don't understand how it works, because it melts back on when it gets away from the sun. Like, it doesn't seem to be fluid. Like, it wasn't a water pile. It was actually evaporated, and then it just comes back. So, yeah, that's some artistic license, I think. But your suggestion was absolutely on point. And we made it through a maze of some tunnels in the ice where we had to dodge some ghost matter. But we made it. The spherical stone casing here seems to be the source of the energy readings. No, rather the source is what's within the stone. I'm detecting some form of exotic matter. The stone is muting our energy readings. They should be 10 times what we're seeing, at least. Pi, I don't think we want this matter interacting with us. As far as I can tell, direct contact with it would almost certainly be fatal. Oh, this is when they detected, when they saw ghost matter for the first time, was it? I've never encountered anything like this casing, but it's all that protecting us. But it's all that's protecting us from what's inside. Worse still, this matter is so disturbingly volatile. Pi, whatever the matter inside the stone casing is, it's more than just profoundly unstable. It's under tons of pressure. Look at this density scan. I've never seen anything this tightly compacted before. What is this? This is orders of magnitude worse than I'd imagined. If the stone were to rupture, the lethal matter within it would rapidly expand, completely blanketing the star system almost instantaneously, and the pressure is still building as the comet... back, scroll. As the comet approaches the star system. Return to the shuttle right now. The rest of our friends need to know whether they're in terrible danger. Leave your equipment and run. Did they learn about this? What are you doing, Pi? The more we know about this alien matter, the better our chances of survival. I will learn what I can here. Go, warn the others. Maybe they can construct shelters somehow. Now, Poke. Is this what destroyed the vessel? Because this definitely has ruptured. I don't know how these guys... No, it can't be, because they were shot here from the... They were shot here... Oh, pause. They were shot here from Ember Twin via the gravity cannon. This thing could be the ghost matter source. I think so. There was a lot of it around here when I came in. It was an entire puzzle to get in the first place, to scout out the paths that work before you... Where did I come in? Did I come in here or there? Oh, I did come in. I didn't come in here. Boop. Give it up for loop 63. So maybe this is what killed the Nomai. Right? The reason why they're all dead, instead of having completed their quest. Well, within their lifetime anyway. But it also, if this is the source of all the ghost matter, then it must have been... I mean, it must be. The ghost matter is very frequent around the universe, around the solar system. And they would for sure, the Nomad would for sure have seen it before, right? With how frequent it is. At the start of the game, we learn that ghost matter evaporates over time. Right? We had this kid in the village throwing rocks into the ghost matter, and the rocks just disintegrating in the air as they touch the ghost matter. We had that. And they said they will be lucky if there's any ghost matter left at all in this patch when they are grown up. So this stuff evaporates in quickly on a cosmic scale. And yeah, this thing came into the solar system, then the rock that was under pressure, it ruptured, killed the Nomai, spread the ghost matter anywhere. By now, when we are exploring, most of it is already gone. So that could make sense. But then we still don't know. Well, no, we know what killed the vessel. They flew into Dark Bramble. Ruptured core. There's more to explore here. Oh no. I found the 2 missing members of the Nomai shuttle crew near a large ruptured stone that looks like it exploded from the inside. The Nomai traced the strange energy readings to a spherical stone casing filled with some form of exotic matter. They determined the exotic matter was both lethal and under extreme pressure. If the stone were to rupture, the exotic matter within it would rapidly expand, completely blanketing the solar system almost instantaneously. One of the Nomai stayed behind to examine the alien matter, while the other rushed back to the surface to warn the rest of the Nomai. And none of them came back. Right? Because on Ember Twin, it's just said that we don't know where they are. They're just... so that's one mystery solved. What else do we have? We have the vessel, obviously. We have all the thing about... Yeah, Sun Station, High Energy Lab. How do we get into the High Energy Lab is the question. Let's have another look at that path. I know from the lore, they say the only entrance... So the Nomai writing says the only entrance to the Sunless City is via... No, to the High Energy Lab is via the Sunless City. Oh, I'm overshooting like a ton. I'm not paying attention to my... Oh no. Whoopsie. Yeah, the vessel incident has to be earlier because, as I said, the expedition to the interloper was launched from Ember Twin, so where they set up camp from Escape Pod 2. So yeah, that's... I mean, we know how the vessel crashed. It crashed into the Dark Bramble seat. And somehow, I don't know how did the vessel end up in the seat? Like, oh no, no, I'm not. I don't have my suit on. That's dangerous. Let's try not to overshoot this time. Oh, the vessel came in to help the Nomai after the ghost matter explosion? No, it can't be. There's a clear time correlation of first vessel, then escape pod, then colony and Ember Twin, then... God damn it, Ash Twin's in my way. Yeah, this is where the High Energy Lab is, isn't it? This big thing over here. Is there anything we can see about it? Like any place to look in, maybe? Doesn't seem to be. Okay, so let's go to the Sunless City entrance. Should be somewhere around here also. Where is it actually? There it is. Works. Come on, come on. Get over there. We know this path. We've been here several times. There we go. Fantastic. Open that up. I'll just drop down immediately because already sand is flowing in. And I know it's over here. I'll get the scout out also to illuminate my path. Because that's a fantastic source of lighting, if you have it. And we know this is... like this over here? What's this? Is this where it goes to the... wait, no, it can't be. That would be too easy, right? Oh, no, that loops back. But we get an overlook. Light up that place. Light it up, for God's sake. Let's put it there. Well, that's not happening at all. What if we just be very stupid about it and just follow the cable, which I think I did before. Oh my god. I can I not boost while I'm... but... oh no, am I stuck here? Oh my god. Oh, I can get out here. Is this where... no, this is where I was coming from. Oh my god. I'm wasting my precious fuel on this. I'm going to go in with kind of a running start. Yes. Ah! Do I actually need to be here before the sand starts falling? So even quicker than this? The whole civilization was built by this kid Nomad just to get killed by an asteroid a couple of years later. Sounds sad. I mean, that's life. I'm not in frame. Yes. Why am I? Is it over so much? Feels like my camera's not pointing the right way today. Did I bonk my monitor? Okay, so we need to be even quick about this. Shooting again, but I see where I want to land. If only I could get there. God damn it. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Doesn't matter. Suit is on. Can't lose more time steering. No! Nearly fell down there. I am losing a lot of time just walking though. So that's... and just generally going the wrong way. So much for being efficient about this. No, but it can't be. I must be missing something here with regards to how I'm getting in there. It cannot be that I have like a 10-second window at the start of the loop where I need to be at the right place. Oh my god, I'm getting stuck on everything. Let me in! I mean, they do light up the place for me. Oh my god. Ugh, get over here. Question is, will the sand not be falling yet when I get there, which I feel like it will be. It is already falling, fantastic. No, what? Speedrun strats, yeah, but it doesn't work. I'm running the wrong category. I'm running high energy lab %. Which is like just a stupid meme category. No one runs that. Like, it's so tantalizingly close every time. I mean, the other idea is to wait until... Oh my god. I can't even get out of this anymore. What is going on? What is this? Oh. Okay, now I'm being generally stupid. Because I'm getting angry and I'm already nearly run out of fuel. So my other idea is to wait until these cacti are covered in sand, and then maybe I can run through it, which I may have attempted before, and if so, it probably didn't go well. Hold on, let me actually see if I can move the camera over a bit. Yeah, that's more comfortable. It's a better angle. So, how has your day been? That's the opposite of speedrun strats right now. Once again, this doesn't feel right. I mean, well, there are some... Oh no, I need to actually go and refill my oxygen. And obviously, because of this, now I might miss it. And I didn't follow the cable. And now I'm wasting fuel again. And just getting up means I have to waste more fuel doing so. Oh no, this is terrible. Can I even yeet myself up that far? Okay, this is going absolutely terrible right now. No! No! Ah! I'm just doing generally stupid things today. Okay, reset. Trying to read into the basics of PC building in time for Friday. Did you order some parts? Generally it's not all that difficult. These days the pieces are designed to fit in only one way. So that's a big thing. Don't try to force it in if it doesn't seem to be aligned and such and conforming. I mean, obviously at this point, if you say in time for Friday, then you probably have ordered parts already, and you're past the part of choosing the right components to work together. And obviously, don't touch any circuit surfaces. Right? If you're handling a DIMM, for example, touch it at the edges. And generally, take your time. I mean, that's general advice that works always. Oh my god, it's so hard to not over or undershoot this. Like, I was so careful. Hello, can I please accelerate towards you? Why am I getting away from it? Am I already in the gravity well? No, I'm getting closer. Or because it's orbiting so quickly, is that it? Oh my god, this is the worst approach ever. Autopilot me there. I have no idea what I'm doing. Planning to order Black Friday, so I gotta figure out what to order. Oh, I see. I don't know, maybe because of Black Friday they will be super overworked, but there is a Reddit called Build a PC. And if you have some idea of what you want to build, you can post it there, and people there will take a look at it and say, like, like for example, this RAM will not work with this CPU or whatever. And another resource I can recommend is logicalincrements.com, which you get a big table and you just select, I have this and that much budget, and it tells you good components to get for that price that are a balanced build. Oh my, what is going on already? I've become entirely unable to operate the spaceship, which is not a good thing in this game. So yeah, the idea with speedrun strats is definitely gone at this point. Also, it's super laggy again, which I don't know why that is. Where am I going? Seriously, where am I going? I don't even know where I am. What is going on? Can I please just get back into my fucking ship and fucking refuel, because I'm already used up 10% of my fuel. Okay. It's... oh my god, it's so laggy. What is going on? Put my feet down, just get bearings. Oh my god! I'm getting angry at the game today, I don't know what it is. Which I don't like, because it's not fun for no one, but it occasionally happens. Yes, I know. Ghost matter. Yeah, like ghost matter right at this entrance, and they say it decays, so it must have been bigger. And then this entrance would have been entirely useless if this entire area was just covered in the death stuff. So... it's so frame droppy right now. Probably need to... see, there's the sand coming in. So I will refuel my oxygen. I will stay here for another minute or so. It also says there's more to explore here, which I don't understand. I feel like I've opened up every one of these doors. I've been in every quarter. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the performance of this game. Why sometimes when I reset a loop, the performance just goes completely down the drain. Yeah, and like also this, like, it's not just that, it's like simulation speed. Like, I should have been able to boost myself down to a safe speed, and I'm just smacking to the ground despite boosting constantly. Or thrusting, not boosting, constantly. That is very baffling. Okay, we are already coming up on that part where I feel now I have memories of getting through there by waiting for it to be covered in sand, and I just got stuck in the path then. But we'll see. But that's some ASMR shit right there. It also just stops me if I run into the cacti. I cannot just say I run over it. That didn't work. When I somewhat tried it. Okay, we're coming up. Okay, go. 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 Okay. Oh. Oh no, I'm already at maximum light. Where's it going? Over there? I cannot get there. Holy shit. Light. I can get here. Oh my god, it's so laggy. Oh, this is terrible. And I'm in a maze. I'm in a fucking maze. Over here. Yes! Yes! Okay. Okay. 3 minutes oxygen remaining. Please. Okay, we have some time now. Is it as choppy for me, for you as it is for me? Like it's no, it's oh. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. No, don't go in there. Huh. place for me. Where are we? I don't think I've seen this before. Oh, elevator. And I need one. The thing is, it makes it so much harder to steer into it with all the frame drops. Aim. Go. There we go. Okay. We have oxygen. So this is new. This is absolutely new. I have something that I can turn on. Oh, I understand this immediately. When you have the spirals, you had the spiral that is the target from where you warp from Whitehall Station to Brittle Hollow. It has a spiral pattern like this S shape basically, and in the middle on the platform where you arrive, it has one of these diamond shapes. And they did say there are multiple warp towers all going into Ash Twin, and we have 7 of these things here now. And I'm going to say, yeah, exactly these things. And I'm going to say this activates them. Oh. Okay. Okay, so this is an energy type thing. We have scrolls. Okay, so we're reading. This is Pi. This is the guy who died on the comet. Records show Noma arriving at the warp receiver on Brittle Hollow very slightly before departing from the Whitehall Station. Raimi and I are devising an experiment to test if this is a real phenomenon or simple machine error. Initial things first. Our experiment setup will first pair a small black hole core with a small white hole core to mimic the setup on the Whitehall Station. Hypothesis. It is possible for an object to exit a white hole before entering the corresponding black hole. In theory, what we want to try to reproduce is a negative amount of time elapsing between something entering the black hole and exiting the white hole at its destination. Is this how they do the time loop? In some way? That they have... The memory banks can store like these masks and whatever, and the statues. They are a system that stores memories and it can later be retrieved. And now we have a system that can get a thing somewhere before it's being sent off. So with this you can send things in a loop, and you would send the memory storage in a loop to recover people's memory before they actually had them, i.e. at the start of the time loop. So that's everything here. It's super delayed actually. It's not even like that it's dropping a lot of frames, but it feels so delayed, everything. An update. Our experiment here reproduced the anomaly in arrival and departure times, but Pi is unconvinced it's more than an equipment error. I hope to strengthen the effect to render it visible to the unaided eyes. To that end, we've decided to try adding more energy. I imagine the Sunless City's energy supply would prove sufficient. Of note, Raimi, Yarrow requested we let him know before we reroute energy to the experiment. All available energy has been rerouted from the city to our experiment. Raimi and I are about to run a new test. Hypothesis confirmed. I saw it. Pi saw it. Hypothesis confirmed. This is beyond extraordinary. This changes everything. What a beautiful day for the intersection of abstract theory and practical application. Is this also here? I'd hate to leave in the dark. Okay. So this is also huge. The next question is, if this is something I have to activate, and not just a lore dump, we have more scrolls. Okay, so this is a huge lore dump. Right here. I mean, it is at the center of that rumor map, so it makes sense. The Southern Observatory is asking if creating a 22-minute interval is possible. feel like it's actually also... Yeah, it's also dropping... It's also dropping frames on OBS, I feel like. It's only saying 29 frames. And I feel a bit laggy. Hold on. Can I pause and let's just do this? Is that a bit better? Let's see. That is, have something arrive 22 minutes before it is actually sent through the warp. That's the loop that we are in right now. We've learned the negative interval of time between departure and arrival can be increased by adding more energy to the warp core. Problematically, the energy required to extend the interval increases at an exponential rate. Hypothesis: creating a 22-minute long interval is possible, but we are currently unable to generate the necessary energy. The energy is currently unavailable, you say? You're a gas pie. Ramin, I believe it would be necessary to invent a new method of producing energy, a thrilling but enormous undertaking. It would also require advanced warp technology able to handle such energy. That's how we go to Sun Station. That's how we're getting into Sun Station in the lore. We would likely need an enormous space to fit these proposed new energy and warp technologies together. The only location large enough would be Ash Twin. And that's how the Ash Twin project got started. My pun was unintended, Remy. Oh yeah. So I believe it's you who's Aeriform. Okay. So, yes, it's really delayed. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to do about it. The Ash Twin project will be one of our biggest undertakings, metaphorically and physically. To build it, we need a way to travel quickly between Ash Twin and each location that holds crucial project materials. What if we used warp towers like the one we have on Whitehall Station to connect Ash Twin directly to each critical location? Pokeroot and I can begin work on this immediately in the Black Hole Forge. This will keep us busy. Of note, each tower on Ash Twin will warp to a different planet. My gratitude to those who noted my imprecise language. Yes, the sun is not a planet. I believe this has been sufficiently clarified. Kindly stop reminding me. We can design each tower to visually reflect its warp destination. The giant steep tower, for instance, could resemble a cyclone, and we could model the Timberhearth Tower after a geyser mountain. What? Oh, we have images here. So this is Brittle Hollow? I don't know what this is. Is this the sun? I can see this being Brittle Hollow. This would be Timberhearth. When is the sand coming? Or is that... Oh, it's just passing by. Okay. I don't think it will be coming in here. So we have twin towers here for Ember Twin and Ash Twin. This does kind of... No, it's too symmetrical. There's a distinct structure here between these two towers that is not... I was thinking of the actual towers on Ash Twin, on both poles. But I think they look exactly the same. They don't have this indent. That's in only one of them, but I could be mistaken about that. So that's the sun. I mean, I must admit I don't fully understand their art style. Oh, that's what's connecting into the... Wait, what? Where's that connecting to? That's connecting into the tower. And that's the big window that I could not look in from outside. So the only way I can get in this is actually... Oh, there's... Hold on, is there another path? Oh, that's the door that I cannot open from the outside. I mean... Oh my god. You see how much delay this has? I'm even falling off the damn stairs at this rate. So I can... Yes, I can open this up from here. Yeah, this is the entrance that was broken. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So did it register all these I think it did. It registered all these images in the... Yeah, certainly this one. I feel like this one I would remember. Definitely. Like this is a bit generic as far as building designs go. I could have missed that, but this one with the spiral, I think I would remember. Is there anything else here of note? Yeah, we have this, which I don't know what it is. Where does this lead to? What is the meaning of this? That's just a... Yeah, that's just a big cylindrical room. And these are... Two of them are lit up. Is that Gabbro and me? Maybe they didn't finish all the towers before their death. I feel inclined to say no. Because they needed all these different materials from different places to complete the Ashton project, and I feel it is completed because we can project into it. We have this projection stone where we go into a room with these 7 masks, of which 3 are lit up. And this ought to be the Ashton project. It has purely black walls, which is the material from Timberhearth, where's the one layer up is the images. And we can recapitulate what they need these different places for. We have Timberhearth, which is probably the one in the middle, where they have... Oh no, wait, that could also be Giant's Deep, that it's the Cyclone. Or is that the Cyclone? So we have Timberhearth where the rock or metal or whatever for the shell comes from. That entirely black metal with starry dots in it. We have Brittle Hollow, where the Black Hole Forge is, where they build the warp cores. We have Ash Twin, obviously, where it's constructed. We have Ember Twin, where the energy is being sent to. We have the Sun, where the energy is coming from. No, it's not sent from Ember Twin. Okay, so it's just Ash Twin. But that's already 4 of 5. And the fifth one, is Giant's Deep. I don't know what they do with Giant's Deep. What they do with that. But yeah, so that all links together. I don't think I can do anything anymore here, so I will try to quit out, and maybe that resets the performance issues. Come on, let me press quit and start it back up again. What? Oh. There we go. How's it going? It's going pretty well. I was very frustrated with getting into the high energy lab, but we did manage. We have been in the high energy lab. We have been... Yeah, something must be with the cylindrical room, but I don't know what it is. Please let me... I know your intro sequence is nice, but I want to just click here. And we also got into the interloper. So 2 mysteries solved already today. And let's see how many more mysteries we uncovered. We look back on everything. There goes the probe. Oh, that's less than I expected. Yeah, Whitehall Station. The Nomai successfully reproduced the temporal anomaly first observed at the Whitehall station. Warped objects appear to arrive before they depart. The Nomai discovered they could increase the negative time interval between arrival and departure of any energy to the warped core. The Nomai wanted to know if a 22-minute negative time interval was possible. Why is... Since the quitting out is becoming a habit by now, how are you feeling about a nudge towards a QOL feature? I will happily be nudged. Nudge me, please. Then I wanted to know if that was possible. Yeah, why 22 minutes? What is with that number? So they said someone in the Southern Observatory wanted to know that. But why? So when they explained that the energy requirement is just going up astronomically, maybe someone else learned something throughout the loops and can help you out. I have not been to Gabbro's place for a long... No, I have been to him for some time. Because who else would be learning things? I've noticed that with most NPCs, the dialogue options are very limited. Like I wanted to, when I found the coordinates, I wanted to go back, and you were probably there on Monday, I wanted to go back to Felsvar and tell him, here, can you please just, no, not Felsvar, Hornfels, the guy at the museum. And I wanted for him, because I figured possibly he knows how to translate them. And there was not even a dialogue option for that. Yeah, so 22 minutes. I was thinking maybe that would just be the maximum that they can do, but they specifically said the Southern Observatory asked for it. Designs for each towers on Ash Twin's equator. Each tower warps to a different planet, although many Nomai were quick to note that the sun is not actually a planet. Maybe this is just the time the probe needs to search one path through the solar system. That is possible. Each tower was designed to reflect its warp destination. The towers allowed the Nomai to quickly travel between Ash Twin and all the other locations crucial to the Ash Twin project. We have still a question mark here. Yeah, 22-minute interval. Oh, right, the Giant Steep is where the statues are built. That's how Giant Steep is connected to that. You can see all it here. Brittle Hollow, you have Timber Hearth, you have Giant Steep coming down from the upper right, and you have Ember Twin. Or Ash Twin, rather, and the Sun Station. At the Sun Station also... Ash Twin Towers. Wait, on this image they look like they are... Because now I can see, when I go to this photo over here, now it looks like multiple towers. Why did I only ever consider two of them? Maybe, oh, they are uncovered when the snow drains, the sand drains, right? So this one would be the one warping to the sun, I feel like. Like this thing here. Okay, that's where we need to go. It also still says there's more to explore here. I don't understand. I've been every single fucking place there. We still have the vessel, we still have the Ash Twin project. I feel like we are pretty far. I'm baffled why this is not connecting to anything. And we have the 6th location that I also wanted to figure out. Anyway. It's already... Oh no, it is frame droppy, but it's not terrible. So let's try that again. I know I don't have to be incredibly hasty about it. But I want to get to Ember Twin. Go back into the high energy lab. See, activate the thing. Oh, you know what? Hold on, we go to Ash Twin instead. We probably have to wait a fair amount of time until anything noteworthy happens here. Okay, so we're just sliding. Tell you what, since we have some time anyway, let's go talk to Gabriel first, because they're the only one who's also in the time loop. There we go. There's also the Quantum Moon tantalizing. Feels like a good velocity to be going in with. So it's actually very easy to land on Giant Steep if you're not... Unless you're directly crashing into an island. That's not the island that I want. Where's Gabriel when I need him? Or them? Is it this one? I think it is. Yeah, it's like smoke coming off it. That's its campfire. Hello. Nice weather we're having, huh? Wait, have I used that one before? I found something. Yeah, no, I asked him about all of this. Statue Island. Yeah. Cannon breaking part and stuff each loop. Too much over enthusiasm. Yeah. Found a ship. So it's floating in the ocean. How did it look like it was having a good time? Okay, so he doesn't have... They don't have a care in the world. I mean, who else would be... Going by Fern's comment again. Maybe someone else learned something throughout the loops and can help you out. Who else would be able to learn something throughout the loops? There's one dialogue you've skipped for a few visits now. Really? Okay, we're going back. Oh. How did I just end up in here by accident? What happened? Is that even possible? Okay, let's get yeeted out again. I mean, well, obviously it is possible, but is it intended? There's one dialogue I've skipped. That is Statue Island. That is again Statue Island, I feel. And he's about to get yeeted, isn't he? Yeah, okay. Let's wait for them to return. I'm always saying he to people by default, even though they are NB, the Harthians in this game. No, that's not the one. That's a completely different island. Where is it? Is it coming back somewhere else? Oh, there it is. Oops. Doesn't matter. So you're saying there's a dialogue that I skip. Where should I explore? I have What are you... How can you... Oh, how do you stay so calm in the face of impending death? Deep breaths. No, seriously, I meditate. Want me to teach you? It'll be the next two before you know it. Sure, why not? Okay, close your eyes. Okay, now we're in Framedrop Village again. Oh, great, guys! You meditated me right into Framedrop Village. Is that what you were going for? Or is there another dialogue option that I missed? There's a bit more to it. See, the thing I was expecting now is that... Okay, we're going in and I'm just going to see if I can bounce into the water and completely stop like this. Yeah, I can. Fantastic. That's a quick way to travel. You got all you need from capital. The thing is, I was half expecting that since they said, and before you know it's the start of the next loop, I was half expecting that I would start the loop at a different place. And that would give me the required time to make it. Oh, I'm seriously overshooting once again. And also actually want to go there. Oh no. That ain't half bad. I'm actually too early though. It's not raining yet. Now I know the giant steep approach doesn't work. Strictly quality of life and funny puzzles. Oh, meditate until next loop. I see. I was going to ask which button it is. That makes sense. Jump into that sand like Scrooge McDuck into his coins. Yeah, that's me, alright. Okay, so we're draining now. Yeah, these things. Those are the warp targets, or warp receivers. Also, I feel like I may have landed on the... I feel like I have landed pretty close to the equator, so I want to go a bit in this direction. Just to be out of the path of the sand drain vortex. Yeah, that's better. Just so my ship doesn't get flung over to the other planet again. That's somewhat inconvenient. Strictly quality of life, not for any puzzles. See, that's the thing. I'm thinking of... I can't help but think of so many places where I would want to try that mechanic and see if it does anything, like on the Quantum Moon. But also in a way I feel like I would just be... Oh look, that's the pass-by of Interloper scene from this angle that we had at the start. That's pretty nifty. So now I don't feel it's actually very useful to be on this perspective. I need to be a bit farther out. So I can have a look at Ash Twin from above and see when the... I mean, these towers are the obvious thing. And you only get ever pushed out, so it's not really useful. but more towers are supposed to emerge, or will emerge. Or like this. That's how we hover. We just need to wait for the towers to emerge at some point. These are on the equators. I know that much. And the other towers, the sand vortex can pass over them. There's one. Oh yeah, that does have that shape for the Amber Twin Warp Tower. And the vortex is coming over it. There's another one. That's the one that we want. That's the Sun Tower. Okay, so we need to go in there. I want to... That's the bad boy. Look at this, there's a warp target in there. And of course the door is broken, because why the TF would it be functional? That's probably why I didn't get in there yet. And I'm guessing they didn't just make an extra entrance here for a good measure. That'd be way too easy. Oh yeah, these are the two pairs. I see. And there's supposed to be a warp here. I've read that scroll, I'm pretty sure. There. I don't see any warps here. Okay, that might be broken. Or incomplete. So that can actually make sense. Okay, let's just continue walking across the equator, because the other towers should also be coming into view. There's another tower here. I mean, they could also, yeah. Whoa. Fascinating. What did that trigger? I mean, I guess I wait for the sand to drain. Okay, I'm still not seeing any of these trees that refilled me, but whatever. Let's make another loop around. Or, well, rather continue our loop around. Oh no. No. Not this again. See, it is very quick to loop around like this, but you need to be extremely careful. Can we get in from this side, maybe? Oh, we can! Yes! Okay, this is new. Some time has passed since I checked in with you, Pi. How are you and Idea progressing with the Sun Station plans? Presently, my assessment is that our plan will either fail explosively or succeed explosively. I feel like I've read this line before. Pi, you don't know I don't find that funny. How curious. Raimi thinks I'm a gas, and I don't recall requesting that you monitor this conversation, Idea. I don't see what state of matter you are have to do with this. I don't recall supporting the Sun Station construction, but here we are. Hypothesis: time spent away from the station would be beneficial to you both. Immensely interested in testing your hypothesis, Xyrill. That at last we can agree on. No, I've read that before. It didn't give me... I can launch my scout in here. Which I can just see it's overrun by these plants. That's me. Oh. And there's nowhere where this path continues. And that's why I want to get in. I was half waiting for it to be warped. I mean, no, I can make that. That's... Oh, curse these conveniently placed cacti. Look at that, it's active and everything. This is terrible. Let me in. Or is it? Is it active? Because this thing should also be displaying text when it's active. At least that was how it worked on... Oh no. With the one link on Brittle Hollow. Let's have another look. It actually walk this way. So these towers don't seem to be connected. I was expecting maybe I can get in from below into one of them and maybe travel below the surface, but it doesn't seem there's enough of a substance there. I did see... Yeah, there are trees in here. Oh, that's the Timber Hearth one. What was that? What was that just now? Like a room? Oh, that was from the warp, right? Okay, so this is an important question. Can this warp me? Not like this. Absolutely not like this. But, how long does this take to pass? What? I was going to say, it felt like it was stuck on that portal. Where's Timber Hearth? Timber Hearth. Come on. Oh. Oh. Oh, we do get warped. I don't want to be here though. Can I get back, please? I can't. I still can. Okay, cool. Okay, so this actually works. These things are actually on. That's big news. That's big news right there. There's... Oh. 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 That's new. Here's our first delivery, Xyrill. 1 warp core fresh from the Black Hole Forge. Root is installing this core sibling on Brittle Hollow as I write this. I wish I could wait here for you to arrive, but the Forge and my unfinished work there is calling. I will return with more retrievals soon. My gratitude, Clary. With this, the Ashton project is underway. I confess I'm deeply curious about what you and Poke found on the Whitehall Station that started this project. Could I visit sometime to learn more? They found something on the Whitehall Station? What? I recommend you do. The Whitehall Station is the model for the towers being built for the Ashton project, so a visit to the station would be doubly useful. I suppose more precisely, I would like to visit the Whitehall Station with you, Clary. Yeah, I will stop using the scroll wall to flirt with my system. Romantic matters, so density rivals in neutron stars. And go meet her on the Whitehall Station. Okay, please explain our findings. Any more scrolls? So this is Brittle Hollow. And what is the design here? I should not be missing a warp if I can. Well, this was Dark Bramble. Where's Brittle Hollow? It's taking like a full revolution to get to it. Oh, we are close. It will be when we pass through the sun, we will also be aligned for the warp. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is this one. Yeah, I know. I know. That's at the Black Hole Forge. Okay, I know this one. And that's... Yeah, that makes sense thematically with the... No, other direction. No! No! No. Go back down. I want to go back to my ship and refuel. Okay. There we go. There's my ship. There she blows! Yes. It's fine. It's fine. I made it. It's fine. Where is it? There. Oh, this also resets my map though, which is kind of annoying. So this one would be Giant Steep. That's the tornado thing. We can get in it by now. We went to the Forge on Sunday. I did! Sunday was... Why can't I get in this way? Sunday was Tower of Quantum Knowledge, Tower of Quantum Trials, Black Hole Forge, and one other thing that I don't remember anymore. The inside of the cannon. So this may be revealed even later. But I've been to the other side, so that's... I mean, there could be notes in there, so maybe it's worth waiting for that one. Oh, hold on. That's the opening right there. Oh, right, this is where I found these guys the first time, where I thought they were recently deceased. Because this looked like just flesh. But by now I know it's actually a spacesuit. Okay, so... Big question, can we get into this tower any other way? Which I fear we can, but how else are we going to get to Sun Station? And I feel like we can get to Sun Station. We ought to be able to. Like, this is supported by this massive bedrock here. I feel like it might have an entrance somewhere. Although the other ones always had their entrance on the actual tower, like this one. Where's the sand coming? I hear it. There it's coming. I want to have a quick look though. Ow. I mean, if I go in there, I should be safe from the sand. I will be sucked to the ceiling, but that's all. Does that help me in any way? No, these paths are all too narrow to go through, even if I'm being sucked up by the sand. So that doesn't make any sense either. See, I was thinking maybe I cannot go through here, but maybe I can go through one of these gaps and reach the elevator, but I don't see myself being small enough to fit through any of this. Have you ever tried just to fly to Sun Station? I have, and I burn up before I get there. Okay, I don't even get pulled up. The sand doesn't actually go through here, which makes sense when you think about it. The Nomai also alluded to that in some logs. They also said, like, how are we even going to get there? It's too dangerous to approach that close, and they figured out some sort of way. It's so tantalizing. I can see the door of me if I could only operate it from here. And it is definitely active. There's the display. Hold on, if that display is active, I've only seen that happen so far when it's been used. So does that mean it has been recently used? Yeah, this is clogged. This is unreachable, as best I can tell. Don't see any entrance here. Or down here either. We are pretty close to the end of the loop also. This is an alternative route, but it probably just brings me up to the main chamber. Yeah, that's the same entrance that we had before also. Oh, my ship has been transferred. Look at that. I was also going to say the vortex has become bigger, but it's probably just because I'm on a relatively smaller planet now. I really don't see any way to get... Can I please stand here? Any way to get into the sun station tower, because obviously that's the most important one. It has to be. Have I visited all the other ones? I was in the Giant's Deep one, that's the one right there. I was in the Brittle Hollow one, I warped to that one. I was in the Timber Hearth one. What is the last one? Oh, the Twin Towers. Oh, that's a loaded term. But I was in those also. Yeah, this is broken. But I want to be... I want to open it. I don't understand. Where's the sand piling? Oh, it's done actually, is it? It's kind of problematic. That means I cannot get back to my ship, but whatever. Okay, the loop is done anyway. Okay, we're done with this loop. I'm curious, did we actually get any notes from this? We did read some new text. But does it translate too much in the ship log? I felt like in the high energy lab we did get a ton of new stuff, and then it was not all that much actually. I mean, in hindsight we weren't connecting any big pieces, so it's not all that much. Okay, it does say we have explored the White Ash Twin Towers. Several large White towers form a ring about Ash Twin's equator. The White Hole Station was used as a model for these towers, which were built for the Ash Twin project. What am I missing here, is the question. There's more to explore here, and I feel I have seen every single room. Twice. 3 times at this point. Think it's a bug? I mean, there could be some like minute detail that I'm missing, but I don't feel like I'm missing any. Well, obviously I'm missing some stuff about the Sun Station, but that's probably a question mark because I haven't been there yet. I mean, just to double check that I'm not misremembering, we will try to get to the Sun Station and turn up within the next few seconds. But just in case it works, and I don't want to end up looking like a big idiot. See, there's Sun Station. It will be difficult even catching it because I cannot really lock onto it, and I nearly crashed into the moon. Yeah, it's going so fast. I actually need to catch it on the next go around. Like, how close can I go before it starts burning up? Oh, this could actually work. Holy shit. I mean, I completely missteered it this time, but I know there's a bug regarding it and I know how to fix it, but I don't want to say it at the moment until you've progressed. I see. Okay. That's good to know. Then I will stop worrying about it. Okay, so news update. It seems possible to reach Sun Station, but it's going to be extremely difficult, steering-wise. So with this, we'll just align myself first and go on an... So I'm pointing at the Sun Station right now. Now I will gently try to approach the Sun in a way that I can slow it down. Oh yeah, I'm accelerating and quickly when I head towards the Sun. It's as if it has a huge gravity field. Yeah, like even steering against it is... Whoa! That's Amber Twin, alright. That's what you get for aligning yourself with the with the orbital plane of the planets. Did I count up? I did. I think I did count up. If you get to the point where it's supposed to be gone and it isn't, I'll let you know. I'm guessing, and don't answer me, I'm guessing it's going to be when I get to Sun Station. Because that is the one question mark that's... there goes the 10 loops per stream metric. We did fail with the 10 loops per stream metric on Sunday, if I remember correctly. Either Sunday or Monday, we failed with that pattern. I can go back into the vault, but it is not actually all that important, all things considered. I will steer a bit more to the right this time. The thing is, as the closer I get, now I actually need to start counter boosting. Because I actually need to have enough time. It's so slow to actually slow down. Oh, there we go. I will just gauge for now how far I need to be away. 3,000 meters. See, at this point, counter steering doesn't work anymore. Okay, there we go. That's the issue. I feel I could probably make that landing. But it's going to be 1 hour of tries. It's just me tweaking my... was that the quantum moon just now? Did the quantum moon just flicker up before my eyes? Landing seems quite impossible now. I will give it like 2 or 3 more tries until I declare it impossible. I mean, at this rate, it's not actually a big time investment to do 2 or 3 more tries of this. The issue is also this, the sun station, it will have some sort of artificial gravity. It will not be very strong. So it's not going to be a huge help to try to just jump onto it and hope you stick. Have you ever seen a shuttle connect to the International Space Station? Not really. I mean, I expect they do something similar to what I'm doing, that they're matching velocity and then slowly approaching it. Oh, come on. Okay, 4,800 meters is what I need to get past to avoid smacking into Ember Twin. Oh, I know what you mean. I'm supposed to get in a synchronous orbit with it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's try that. Surprise in between. Wait, it was Ember Twin all along? Always has been. So we actually need to steer in this direction. And I enter a close orbit around the sun. Need to make an approach. Oh yeah, we are actually syncing up with it somewhat. Oh, I'm being flung out, never mind. I did wait too long to start accelerating toward the sun rather than along it. Okay, let's... like the sheer amount of time that I just need to slow down again. So now I move perpendicular to the sun. And at some point I need to start swinging in. So actually moving... I should align myself with the plane that I will be moving in. And now I actually need to be going like this. I'm once again going way too far. It's a valid approach to get speed without using fuel though, the gravity extinction. Why am I not matching? I'm flying so far away again. And I'm going out of the plane again. Yeah, thank God I don't have a fuel limit on that ship. I mean, maybe I have, and it just doesn't matter because I cannot use it up in 22 minutes. So let's try being a bit more clever about it this time. But I need to be going very quickly. I mean, that's something I can only do close to the sun. So... I'm going away from it again. And very quickly so. Yeah, that's the problem. You get flung a lot. That makes it super difficult to actually line with the station. Now I'm super slow again. See, now it's so difficult to even understand how the velocity is. I feel like I'm... Now I'm way overshooting again, because I'm so... So I know what you mean, but it is so difficult to pull off. Unless you're already like a complete veteran at Kerbal. I mean, no, I cannot match velocity. I need to keep going with the angular momentum. And the ship has a fuel limit, okay. See, now I'm being flung away again. And I'm out of orientation again. And I need to start steering away now. See, now I don't know how to steer this. Okay, very clear question to the chat this time. Is this the intended way to land on Sun Station? And don't tell me if there's no way to land on Sun Station. Just say yes or no. Is this the intended way to land on Sun Station if you're supposed to land there? Like, am I doing something productive? Okay, cool. Let's go talk to people. Let's see if there's anyone who has new dialogue. Yeah, there's our village. Oh, we can pull a landing on the... Well, so much for landing on the platform. At least not in one go. Okay. Hello, I'm back. I tried to fly directly into the sun. I failed. Now I'm back here, but I have a cool spacesuit about it. Hello. Okay, ... Good luck in space. Hello, astronaut. Okay. They don't have anything new. Yeah. Now we know this. See, these are all true NPCs. Did you forget your spacesuit or something? Dude, I'm wearing it. Okay, they're all super confused about me refusing to go to space. And here I thought I'd heard your ship take off. Was your adventure only a short one? Any new dirt? Hoping to teach Escort to tap trees next time they return from the Idle Rock. If they bring me lunar sap, I can attempt moon wine. What are you up to? Finish this. Just finished sealing up another batch of sap wine for aging. I'd like to begin aging a batch on the day of a significant occasion, you know. That's why there are so many bottles labeled structural collapse and house fire. Okay. Sorry. Remember when we started this game and it was just this quaint little thing? Okay. Yeah, okay. No, I don't want to talk to them again. Gozan, please be helpful. Okay. Gozan is decidedly unhelpful today. Yeah, the eyes are open. I found Feldspar. I did this one already? What? Where are the other travels to me more about Feldspar? That's just the original dialogue. Huh. Ha 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 ha. Maybe is there something up here that can translate like coordinates, just asking for a friend? Kornfeld's observations. This is incredible. At first I thought the points of light in this image were stars, but they were not. They're galaxies. And this image covers just a tiny patch of the whole sky, which means the universe contains at least 1,000 times more galaxies than we previously imagined. Why am I leaning down so much? I can't stand comfortably. I think I need to sit down. No, not that part. This is odd. According to my redshift calculations, every single galaxy in this image is moving away from us. In fact, the farther away a galaxy is, the faster it appears to be moving away. It's almost as if the entire universe is expanding. But if that's true, was everything closer together in the past? And how far back can we extrapolate? Did the universe have a beginning? Is that where the eye of the universe is? Maybe it's like a point in time and not... Can I please type in the coordinates? No? Okay. Alright. I was going to say that's a door, but that's just the... Okay, there's nothing really here. No. Doesn't matter. This guy's not helpful either. Okay, so let's... Oh yeah. Oh, comes back for us. Fantastic. But don't play the Xyrill music. I'm out of here. So everything is moving there. I have to go there somehow. But how? Sun station and Sunless City. The vessel. We have the quantum moon still. I don't know. Hold on. Pause. If I go to the quantum moon, we know what we need to do first. We need to be fucking tourists about it and take pictures. Where's that quantum moon that everyone's gushing about? Island shard, cave shard, tower shard, quantum moon. Right, I only need to have it on a picture once and then we're good. Is it? Oh, it was because of the boost. So that's looking back. It's actually not coming into frame very well. But it's going to be enough to just have one image of it. Oh, no, 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 no. Whoa. Ooh, don't miss it, don't miss it. Is that an image of it? I'm honestly not sure. Oh yeah, it is. It is. So like this. And now we just keep this on our screen and we're fine. And suddenly... Evidently it was not an image of the quantum moon. Never mind. I think I misplaced the... I misplaced the scout. Let's fix that real quick. Oh no. Say it ain't so. Is it falling to the black hole? It super is. Okay, we're going through the black hole and my ship is coming through us also. Wait, buckle up. But cool. Wait, that's not supposed to happen. I mean, I can try buckling up. Maybe that resets the state. What? I think it thought I'm in the ship, therefore it put away my suit. Oh, I put away my suit when I sat on the chair. Right. Or my helmet. And since the door wasn't closed, I suffocated. I mean, it makes sense, but it's still stupid. Okay, now we have ample time to go to the quantum moon. I don't have a scout launcher, so let's go in, grab all that shit, go back out immediately. And this time we put it in nice front and center. Yeah, that's center in my view, that's perfect. Where is it? Where is it? Tall shot. Is it here directly? Iron shot. Oh, there it was. Never mind. Can I make it reappear? Where is it? It's not on Bramble. Not on... Oh, there it is. I have no idea if I'm close to any other... Okay, no, I'm not close to any other celestial object. Yeah, this time it's in view and perfectly. So this is a perfectly clean shot of the quantum moon. We should have no trouble landing on that whatsoever. Okay, cool. Now we just need to get the building. Do you want a usability tip that doesn't spoil anything but helps you? But always. At this point... Wait, I don't need lights. Why would I need lights for? I have a flashlight. At this point I feel... I'm very close to the ending, which also means if there's any one thing that I'm missing, it could absolutely make it impossible for me to progress. Yes, that's where we want to be. Now we can go to the northern hemisphere. There's nothing blocking us here. Usually, at least. I retract my previous statement. There are absolutely things blocking us here. Which planet was it where there was nothing blocking us? Was it Giant Sleep, possibly? Like, see, that's the issue. That's where I want to be. And... you don't need to shoot the scout in the ship can take pictures. Oh, that's good. Oh, I see. Like it has a camera itself, if I go camera mode. Oh right, I can just use the camera like I do it with the scout launcher when it's in the shooting thing. That is Brittle Hollow again. Can I go through there on Bramble? Yeah, that works. Now we can progress onto the northern hemisphere, which is where we want to go. And the issue is... yes, I recall this vehicle. There we go. That is... Yeah, no. Dark bramble. See if I open it up again here. That doesn't work. No, but I still... I'm not at the North Pole still, because one of my theories was that that it warps me to the North Pole when I'm here, and that would be the location I want to be. So, on Dark Bramble, I cannot get there because there's just this giant, huge thing here that I don't know how to progress over it. Where's my building? I need my building for my warp. Where is it? Am I standing in the way of it? No. There it is. Okay, another question to chat. Do I have all the things that I need to actually solve this? All the knowledge, let's say. That's the other thing. I cannot go in here, it bounces me off again. And when I go out, I don't think it's allowed me to go out actually. I mean, we're allowed, but it won't help anything because then the moon just vanishes and it takes my ship with it, which would be a horrible, very, very bad, not good day. I've been on Bramble. That's Timber Hearth again, but there's also some... I think here there's just nothing. It's like, oh no, I don't want to go this way. I want to go here. Like, this is the North Pole, actually right here. I can try and turn around. Oh, okay, there we go. Never mind. So my friend was visiting Germany. Can I just say you basically solved it last stream but got ludicrously unlucky quantum RNG. That's my talent. That's kind of a meme, how every streamer, when they get something wrong, they always say, oh, it's just bad RNG, or I'm just resetting the RNG. So my friend was visiting Germany, and she didn't really know any German, and she was shopping for clothes. She asked her friend how to say cool or fashionable. They told her geil. She started saying, ich bin geil, instead of ich sehe geil aus. That is... that is... another horrible... very bad, not good day. Can I please get... Yes. Okay, here we go. So far, so good. Is there anything here? No, it's guiding me towards the other way. They were laughing at her, she took it well though. Yeah, what now? I feel like I'm walking far away from the... Do I need to go back to the South Pole, maybe? I mean, I am. There's not much else I can do here. Welcome to this walking simulator. It doesn't feel very quantum-y right now. It's mostly just funneling me in this direction. Oh wait, that's... Wait, didn't it say that... What the shit? You're alive! Who are you? Wait, was that a binary choice and I only get one? Okay, so that's me. That's the eye of the universe. I don't know what... Is that like 6th location of the quantum moon? And there's the guy. Pick up identify stone. Pick up explain stone. What the shit? Yeah, I know. Yes, no Elpers. Identify or explain. So I'm a talker. That's something that you have to understand about me. So I'm going for explain. Huh? Oh, I need to take both. I see. These are the two tenets of the Know My philosophy. To seek out and to understand is our way of living. Okay, he's just clearing that away. What if I put it in the other way? Oh, it's same text again. What the shit? That's my scout. Well, that's a scout, but whose scout would it be if not mine? Oh! Oh, these are all stones. I see. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so identify... Ah, I have pairings. I see. Okay. Okay. Identify me. I've never met one of your kind before. It's an honor to speak with you. I particularly admire your 4 eyes. There are many questions I would ask if I could comprehend your language. You have my gratitude for understanding mine. Okay, so let's say I want to explain me. I imagine your purpose here is the same as mine, to learn what and to find the eye of the universe. I'm unsure you arrived here, however. Perhaps you came from another star system as my clan originally did. Okay. So let's go through all of these. Quantum Moon. I don't know how much time I've left in this loop because, as always, I've forgotten to look. If you encountered a quantum shard on another planet, the shards look the same as the quantum moon's surface does now, while at the eye. From this we can reasonably infer the quantum moon's natural state is as we see it now, and that the eye is its primary location. Given the quantum moon is the eye's moon, it's likely that any characteristics the moon exhibits are also exhibited by the eye itself. The quantum moon and its shards, for instance, are quantum, thus the eye is also likely quantum. In fact, this moon is probably quantum because its proximity to the eye made it quantum. The same way the areas surrounding it, quantum shards that landed on other planets, eventually become quantum too. So we had identify and... No, we had only explain for the quantum moon so far. This is the quantum moon where both we are standing. Despite also orbiting other celestial bodies, the quantum moon is the eye of the universe's moon. Okay, so that's quantum moon done. I'm just going through this lore dump systematically. You. I know who you are, but identify yourself. I'm Solanum, a Nomai. My clan arrived in the star system before my birth, and we now call it home. Okay. I mean, you called it home, but I guess I cannot tell him that. I would need way more stones for that. I'm on my first pilgrimage to the Quantum Moon. All Nomai in my clan make this journey when we come of age. Even though the eye cannot be reached from here, the Quantum Moon remains special to us as it carries us nearer to the eye than any other place we know. I've journeyed here to be close to the eye. While the eye is obscured from our sight, we can see the Quantum Moon's reflection of the eye in the sky above us. Wait, this? Interesting. So we have this finally. So that's explain Eye of the Universe. There is fundamental uncertainty throughout the universe. Normally this uncertainty is only observable on a very small scale. As one approaches the eye, however, that uncertainty grows enormously. Yeah, I feel very uncertain right now. That could be a coincidence, though. The Quantum Moon probably exhibits macroscopic quantum behavior because of its proximity to the eye. Shards that broke off from the Quantum Moon have a similar effect, as I imagine you've seen elsewhere in the star system. Conscious observation forces a quantum object to collapse to a single possibility. But what would happen if a conscious observer somehow entered the eye itself? Over time, this has become my clan's greatest question. I see. Sorry for littering these stones all around, but we are orbiting the eye of the universe now, although we cannot see it. Only the Quantum Moon's reflection of it. The eye is older than the universe itself, and my clan believes it dwells in an extremely distant orbit around the star system. Okay, so that's all the lore dumped. All the combinations of it. Why is he not leaving? And what is this probe doing here? Is it just providing light, conveniently? Oh, I see. It's to remind me to do this. Oh, emergency recall activated. I see. Can I get a better arc in this? No. Interesting. Ah. There we go. Nice. Hold on. He's giving out to me. Yes! Okay. No! Don't you dare! Okay, let's cheese it. He can't see us right now. I'm sorry. Hold on, can I pair these up with me and you? Oh no, there's more lore. Suppose you could reach the eye of the universe, would you try to enter it? What do you imagine the effects of a conscious observer might be? Yeah, so let's do all the combinations with me. Me and you. No. We do not have much connection, you and I. Still, this encounter feels special. I hope you won't mind if I think of you as a friend. Okay, so let's do me and Quantum Moon. Is the next pairing, last pairing with me? Is this your first time on the Quantum Moon? It's my first time here. If you've come here looking for answers, I hope you find them. Wait, I could have could have left this in. So me is done. Let's put you and Eye of the Universe. Many in my clan have believed the Eye called us for us for a particular purpose. When I was a child, I used to believe the Eye was malevolent, to have lured my clan to the star system only to have them vanish from them so completely. Yeah, that's what I read on Brittle Hollow. But I don't fear the Eye anymore. In fact, it became my fondest hope to see the Eye itself someday, but I fear this may be beyond my reach. You may think I'm strange, but I have a hypothesis that I may not be entirely alive. Perhaps my journey has reached its end. What? Hold on, which pairings did I do? I did... Let's do... You and Quantum Moon. Don't know if I did this one already, but whatever. I didn't. Like many of my clan before me, I journeyed here to see the Quantum Moon's reflection of the Eye. This is the closest any of us have come to seeing the Eye itself. You may think I'm strange, but I have a hypothesis that I may not be entirely alive. Oh, okay, that's... So that's like multiple paths to reach the same thing. So this is done. And we have this pairing left. Which may also be redundant. I imagine you've noticed the Quantum Moon changes in appearance depending on which location it is currently orbiting. For example, the Moon looks quite different when orbiting Giant Steep than when it does when orbiting the Hourglass Twins. Because the Quantum Moon clearly changes in its different forms, the Eye, being this moon's primary location, must be similarly malleable. From this we can hypothesize that the Eye represents extreme changeability. That said, despite its malleable nature, the Quantum Moon becomes locked to one specific version of itself when it's consciously observed. But what would happen if a conscious observer were to enter the Eye? Yes. Okay. So we do have all pairings now at this point. Wait, can I have a booster pack. Oh. I have a hypothesis that Solanum is in fact not alive. But what place is this? Is that just the Quantum Moon again? I mean, according to my coordinates, it is. It looks, yeah. Oh right, didn't we see him when we came here? Do I actually have a ship? I can use his ship to get back. That thing has a recall function. I mean, it won't be of much help to me, but still. There's one of these lights. Yeah. Oh yeah, we are very much at the end of the loop. My ship is somewhere 29 kilometers from here. That's the gravity cannon on Brittle Hollow. And we have recalled ourselves here. I mean, we can yeet the ship if we want, so that's something. Yeet. Oh, it's just it's bonking on the. It bonked into the pieces of the planet right away. Recall. At least that thing works. Yeah, I think now is. Okay, now I want to know if I can get back to my ship just with boost. So I can use half of my boost on the acceleration and then see. Didn't even say goodbye. Yeah, that's me. Okay, no, this is not going anywhere now. Never mind. Let's read up on what we just learned. That is a good quality of life feature, this meditate thing. That's me, the old Irish goodbye. Interesting. I must admit, my only exposition to Irish culture has been watching Call Me Kevin. 6th location. Okay, that... Well, I mean, I am checking off the boxes. Maybe it's like quantum mechanics. The moon is in all states simultaneously until you make a measurement. What if Solanum survived, but only on one moon state? Maybe the ghost matter couldn't reach that moon because it orbits the eye, which is out of reach. That's a very interesting theory. Oh, I see. Okay, when people leave a party without saying goodbye. I see. Okay. I don't go to parties, so I wouldn't know. I'm an introvert. Anyway, that is a fascinating theory. Maybe the ghost matter couldn't reach that moon, so because it orbits the eye, which is out of reach. But this is very theoretical. This is, yeah. Oh, and so, but once we went up into the vortex, which supposedly would have taken us to the eye, we just came back to the moon in a different state. Presumably because we went into the clouds, therefore we couldn't see the moon again, therefore it could change into a different state. So that could make sense. So the only question marks left on the board are Ash Twin Project, the vessel, Sun Station. The question is, can we get... So I was thinking at some point we would be able to warp into the Ash Twin Project somehow. We have these projection stones, and that's how we were able to see in there. And I feel like this has to be some sort of conclusion to the game, that we go in there. Something that it has been building up towards. The vessel is another thing that's equally big, but there are 3 of these big things. The quantum moon, that's the thing that we just solved. The orbital probe cannon, that thing we solved on Monday by actually getting into the probe tracking module. The ruptured core we solved today. So there's 2 big things left to solve, and there's the case of Sun Station. And also the question why this is just off to the side and not really connected to anything. I mean, this could line up with, and somehow there could be a connection there. So should I be going for the vessel? The thing is, I don't have any good intuition how to actually do that. I don't have... I mean, well, obviously, like, get past the anglerfish, but I don't feel that would be... well, I mean, I tried on Monday to get past these 2 anglerfish. The other ones, they were all okay because they were rather big rooms, and the anglerfish was in one specific area, and if you don't aggro it while you were passing through that area, everything was fine. But the area where the vessel is, the anglerfish are right at the start, so they get aggroed immediately when you go in there. And I tried walking my way past the wall, didn't work. The anglerfish just didn't let go of me, and I didn't have any chance to progress without immediately being chomped up and again. The other option that Hobby Bobby suggested was just to yeet past them, which also didn't work. They're too fast for that. I mean, maybe if I did multiple go-arounds and I perfectly aligned my path, but it doesn't feel like the kind of problem solving they want you to do here. Like, you learned about the fish. Yeah, I did get the lore for it, like over here. This thing, yeah, the anglerfish is blind. And in the game, the rest of the little fish lined against the wall. When the anglerfish said go, the little fish had to sneak across to the other side. And the thing is, I never saw a point where the anglerfish said go. That's the thing. I don't know how to interpret that. I mean, obviously that's a game mechanic. Like the diegetic in-game mechanic of the children playing. That is a game mechanic, but how am I supposed to translate this into the real world? I have never seen an anglerfish, once they had been aggroed, to actually let go of me, right? I had this anglerfish that was trying to jump down on me, but I was pressed against the wall, and it just never stopped, as far as I could tell. I mean, I only waited for a few minutes, but Monka, Also have no idea what to do with the anglerfish. I emptied out my brain with the moon state theory. Yes. See, that's the thing. We all have one brain cell, and we put them all together, and then we can achieve greatness. That's how this usually goes. And I feel... on all of these things, I feel kind of stuck. So once again, I call upon the Outer Wilds veterans in the chat. Is there any way you can give me some sort of hint without giving it away to any one of these goals? Like we had before this, there's a person you haven't talked to in a while, like on this level or something. That's tricky. I mean, I can try again. I mean, the only thing I can see myself currently being able to make progress on is the anglerfish. At Sun Station, I have no idea how to make progress on. I've seen the warp that I need to get into. And you guys have confirmed to me landing on it is not the intended way. Look, there's the quantum moon. Yay. This one is easy. I'm coming in a bit fast, but I will just slow down to a halt. We do the same thing as always. We shoot out the scout. It attaches to the core that we want to go through. Yes, it does. Okay. Here we go. We stick to the wall. Once the root comes, we stick to the root instead. Yeah, exactly this one. We just navigate our way towards it. I think, was I using this route? I don't recall my route from Monday. Oh, I'm using this route. Never mind. Also, I feel... So I'm going to put that as a question once again. Is it possible to un-aggro the fish? So I feel I understand that when there's a certain area around the fish that when you make a noise within it, he gets aggroed. No. So once he's on your tail, you either get out of there or it's over. Okay. So this is where we want to go. Oh no. I'm hearing it. And I'm coming in on a weird angle. Ah, it's working. Well, to a certain extent it's working, but I actually would need to align myself properly for the next thing. No! 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 Okay, we're running in. Which is terrible, because now for some reason we get flung around. What is going on? Wait, he... Okay. Maybe through dumb luck we're making it? No, I don't know where to go. Shit! 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 No. Fuck. See, how am I supposed to evade these things? Is it? Chat, is it possible to get there? like this? Because I super feel like it isn't. That's just too many fish. Yes? Really? How? I'm at this point, I'm not sure if I'm honestly asking this question because I actually don't see it. Is it possible to get by the anglerfish in that room where I just died? In the room with the red light where, as far as I understand, the vessel is. Is it possible to get past these? Fern said yes. I don't see how. How is that? There's way too many fish in there. Like, am I, okay. Once again, yes, no question. Am I supposed to come in exactly the right trajectory when I'm going in exactly in the direction that I'm going past all of them? Is that what it's supposed to be? It's a solution so simple that you feel like the game is mocking you afterwards. Yeah, I feel like. Because that only thing is don't wake them in the first place, so you don't use the thrusters until you are past them. Yeah, exactly, that's the issue. If you saw right before I aggroed them, the reason why I was aggroing them is I needed to steer away from them. Can I just let myself get bonked around there until I randomly make it to the place? Is that it? Because that feels like fitting Fern's description. I mean, we can try it. I mean, it can't be. They can't be that dumb. Surely. Going to say we're already past 2.5 hours, but I did start a bit earlier today, so it's only 10:15. How hot am I going in? I'm going in very hot. No. Slow down. Once again, same algorithm. Because this part at least is working consistently. Okay, it's attaching properly. I'm boosting for very long. Oh no. It's this part that has me concerned for the DLC, because people said in the DLC they do a lot more of the horror elements, like this thing, and or let's say overt horror elements. There's horror undertones in there all the time, like with just dead bodies and the end of the universe, whatever. But these overt horror elements, I've been told by reviews that there's a lot more of that in the sequel, in the DLC, and I'm kind of concerned for that. It is on my list, and I will be playing it. Not immediately afterwards. I want to get some variety, but we will be playing it eventually. But I'm somewhat concerned for that. I read also that they have a mode that's just less scary things. they have a mode of... okay, we're coming in very clean this time. But I do need to... this is the place where I want to start boosting. Okay, so... oh, we're coming in... oh, that down a bit. Okay, we go. Hands off the controls. Okay, now by random... wait, is that random chance this time that they are just allowing me to pass? I feel like I'm coming to a stop though, which is kind of concerning. I maybe didn't use enough boost. I used that mode in the DLC, but I'm full of hypocrisy and will say it's a funnier stream without it. I see. Okay, I am still moving. I'm only using the scout to actually see that I'm moving towards something. Are these the eggs of the anglerfish? I mean, cool, but what would I want to do with those? Especially concerning that I will have to steer now. Once I get there. Once I actually bonk on them, then what? Caviar. Yeah, exactly. Not a huge fan, honestly. Wait. Oh, that's... I was going to say, what is that? Thing is, am I out of their reach? I am. What the shit? Okay, the next question is, how am I supposed to find the vessel now? What is this? Oh, there's more of them. So I will stay close to this for now and do like the orbital probe cannon and shoot off in random directions until I find some... Aha! Is that the vessel? Okay, that went way quicker than I expected. We'll try drifting over there. Oh, there's another... Is that a dead anglerfish? No, those are just roots. I just read them as a mouth. Where did I see that, the vessel before? Not over here, that's for sure. I'm so scared to push forward a bit, but I'm also going so slowly. Oh, I'm going to bonk. Am I? Yeah, I am. Just kind of concerning. Is there a distress beacon here? No, there isn't. It is given out. If we are in the right chamber anyway, which is... We'll try to go against the wall. And then shoot out scouts in random directions until I find something. The issue is also I'm on a time limit, which is very easy to forget, but true nonetheless. Okay, so let's try the lights first. Oh, that's the caviar, right? Yeah. And there's another warp thing. Wait, the red thing was the caviar. Oh, I was hitting that wood. There's another glowing orb there. But I don't think I need to be going through glowing orbs anymore. I feel. Because I don't have anything to orient myself with. Am I missing something in my remembering of last week, last Monday? I remember that I followed the signal to the escape pod number 3. I saw the dead Nomai, and they were looking at a seat. I fired my seat in there, and I also went through the other hole that was big enough for my ship, and hold on, don't let the time run. And I remember I did see the vessel, and it was through a red thing, through a red seat, like a red glowing seat. And now I'm in this room where the red glowing actually originates from this caviar. So am I misremembering anything here? Am I missing something that I could have seen? Is my next question, because I don't actually know how to find the vessel in here. Wait, did I check out this red light? It's more caviar. Is that the same caviar as before? I fired my scout in there. There's a small but significant detail that's wrong in your recounting. Since it is something that I did see, well, is it something that that's maybe difficult for you to tell. Is it something that I took note of back then? So is it something that I'm honestly misremembering, or is it something I may have missed? If it's something I honestly misremember, then please tell me. Because I don't feel that's useful to be stuck on something that I'm just forgot. You fired your scout in a white seat. Really? Wait, then how did I get on this whole thing about red seats? I mean, well, that's probably even more difficult for you to tell. I actually would need to watch the recording back. Maybe retrace your steps. I mean, you want me to go into the other chamber again. But I mean, hold on. Can I even do that from here? I don't get any distract beacon signals, so I'm now at a point where I cannot actually go back to. Okay, hold on. 11:21. This is going to be crazy. Hey, you see, this is how my lighting looks when it works. Let's see. Oh, that's when we won the quantum moon. Now we're exploring. Yeah, this is the escape pod. I went through all of this. Now I follow the lights. I end up at this seat with all the dead nomai around it. I read this text. I shoot my signal there. I get it. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's the one seat that I cannot go into. The other thing that I can go into, it has the red light on it. Do I need to actually go all that path? So go to the distress beacon first and then go into the red from there? That could be significant. Oh my god. Let's bring her around once again. Yeah, that's one good place to meditate. They can seriously meditate everywhere. Like, holy shit. I cannot even meditate on my couch because I'm sitting there for 3 minutes and some random itch comes up and it annoys the shit out of me. And they're in a freaking anglerfish cave or watching a supernova or whatever, just like, Anyway. Let's our way to the distress beacon. Let's go. We're at 2:46. So we have until 3 hours, 8 minutes in terms of stream up time. Fashionably close to the sun once again. So this is where we want to go. Oh no, this button. There we go. I'm forgetting where I'm going into. Yeah, okay, we need to go around the right. For a second I thought one of the thorns was an anglerfish. Also regarding the thing, the no scary stuff mode in the DLC, but how Fern said, they would like the stream without it because it's funnier then. The thing is, I'm not even sure about that. Because I know from myself... Why is it steering me away? What was that? Was I bonking against something? Oh, let me put this away. This is annoying. The thing is, when I'm in a horror game, I'm not spooked or anything. I'm mostly just getting annoyed by it, and I don't think you want to watch that, honestly. Not saying that for my own sake, I'm actually saying that for everyone's sake. Go on. Good. What am I getting stuck on? Okay. Which direction? Down there. How loud is that? Okay, I'm way louder than that. That should be okay. Ooh. Oh right, it's that turning thing. I remember that. But that's just to screw you over, right? That's Doesn't have any narrative purpose other than providing a fun diversion on stream. It's over somewhere there. Is it already in this? Yes, pun definitely intended. The spookiness toggle can be switched at any point in the menu. So you can always turn it on when you get frustrated. That's how I ended up using it. Yeah, that's... I don't know if you saw me play Ori right before this, which honestly most people didn't, and that's okay. Yeah, I bonked on something again, I feel. But I think it's in the roots here. It must be. We're actually very close to it. Yeah, there it is, okay. I have a visual. So from there, I need to commence towards the beacon, fire my scout into that, well, not the beacon, but along that path here. Fire my scout, not my seed. Fire my scout into the target, the seed. God damn it. And then we have the signal to fly towards. How long of a path is that? There we go. But it will be the red one. Which Ori do you mean? The first one. Specifically the 3 escape sequences at the end of each of the quote-unquote dungeons. Like the first one I played on normal difficulty, and the first one I played on normal, and it only took me, oh, I get stuck on this again, don't I? I remember getting stuck on this before. Okay. Just hitting those nomai out of the way. Yeah, now we go towards the red light. I could have boosted some more, oh no. Yeah, that's landed near the vessel. Wait, why did I not do that right away last time? Did the time end? It may very well have been that the time ran out last time. .4 kilometers. Okay, I should have boosted way more than this, but we have to do with this. I feel like I'm getting slower and slower by the second. 1.8. After 14 seconds. But I'm way not out of the woods of these other guys yet. And there's more of them. I feel like I'm super not out of the reach of them yet. 1.6 after 17 seconds. I'm getting... Well, no, it may not be that I'm getting slower. It may just be that because I'm not heading directly towards it, I'm not making as much... covering as much distance anymore. Is this getting closer? Oh yeah, very slowly so. But I cannot put my scout on it. I actually need to target the vessel. About Ori, I've also heard that the second one is more forgiving in terms of saves and such, because really that was the only difference that I saw between both the Oris, between normal and easy mode, is that I just got saves in the middle of the escape sequence that I didn't get in normal. In normal, I would always start from the beginning, and in easy, there were some save points in between, which made things massively easier. Or like, well, not easier, but less tedious. Please tell me this is the end. I think it is. Is all of that the vessel? Because if so, then that's actually massive. It is. Holy crap. For one brief moment I thought, did I put my suit on? But yes, I did. Oh, they are properly disintegrated. They didn't have spacesuits on, that makes sense. Whoa. Hold on. Let's take these rooms one after the other. Was that just... No, that's a room. Trees detected. Fantastic. Do we get any sort of gravity? No, we don't. We get a thing that we can turn on, though. And I'm always one for moving balls around. Best activity of them all. What did that do? There's it downstairs. I'm recording now. I've never encountered anything like this. The signal the vessel is receiving appears to be older than the universe itself. This is our first contact with anything of this nature. Everyone prepare to warp immediately. Skal, wait. I need more time to send an outgoing message. Yeah, Skal's the other person. Shouldn't we tell another clan where we're going? We can send the message upon our arrival. This extraordinary signal appeared suddenly. It may disappear just as quickly, and we can lose a discovery this incredible. Focus on preparing for the warp instead. I understand. Anona, is the vessel ready to warp to the signal's approximate coordinates? The warp core is powered, but this will be a significant jump. Afterward, we'll need time to recharge the core. So that's why they couldn't escape Dark Bramble. That shouldn't create a problem, provided we arrive at or near the signal source. Everyone ready to warp. I see. That's the image that they got. Wait, is that an image? It appears to be an image, yeah. And that informed their artwork depiction of it. The logo art. Oh boy. Okay, so that's like a bridge. It appears so. Oh, hello. Okay, so are there more rooms? How far away from the ship am I? Just in case I want to refuel. Because this thing is actually massive. And for all that massiveness, that is not actually all that much room we can have explored so far. Was that the vault core? I think I actually want to go into the ship. I mean, I need to refuel neither way. Can I focus on it, please? Yes. Let's just see if it says more to explore here in the ship. The vessel. Yes, there is. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's amazing. I'm assuming there are no anglerfish in here because they want you to be able to explore this properly and not fear for your life all the time. This is... No, this doesn't have any cracks in it, so... This is not an angle that we can get in towards. I mean, we can fly in there, though. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, this sounded concerning. Maybe it does matter. Is this where I... No, this is not... This is where I was in just before. So we have these things there also. How do I get in there? This looks unbroken. This one also. Going quite quickly. Sorry. Just coming through. Oh, this looks like... Oh no, it's only a scratch. 'Tis but a scratch. Oh, this is the exhaust part. Wait. Did I miss a part where I can go in? Oh, there's lights here also. Where are these leading to? I mean, yeah, to this thing. So I have already been here. Or is this pointing me in any other direction? So I don't think it is. This is not an entrance. But these are some sturdy plant pots. Okay, let's have another look around here if I missed anything. Oh wait, there's more balls. Oh! I went downstairs, I did not go upstairs. Let's center on this a bit. This is Escal's vessel. Something went badly during our warp, and our vessel is mortally wounded. We need help as quickly as possible. Our vessel appears to have... Has it fused with the local environment somehow? There are vines that are not part of the vessel. It's been torn apart from inside itself. We are abandoning our vessel, and I know my clans or spaceflight capable species receiving this message. I implore you, we need your help. Too far away. Is this broken? Can anyone hear me? Our vessel is dying. We need immediate assistance. Yeah, so that didn't work. We have an orb. Oh. the diorama. Oh, there's like... Can I do like draw something like this? Does that do anything for us? Oh, I have another one, right? Like a third one? I see. But what does this do? I have an idea. We had the coordinates. They were 3 letters. What is this? Did I light this up? Was this on before? Hold on, how did the... I did not actually write down the coordinates. Okay, we are going back to the ship briefly. I'm very concerned how much time we've left in the loop. Wait, where am I? Did I steer in the wrong direction? Oh, I'm very concerned that we are running out of time in this loop. But I should have made notes of this before. Okay. I do have the image on the ship log. Oh fuck, the music is coming on. This thing. Yeah, this fits in there. Fuck. Okay, the timeline is screwing me over. We need to do another loop. Bring her around. Loop number 16 of the day. And I actually need to go to the toilet first. I'm willing to go a bit longer today because it feels so close to the end. So close to the end. Like if... I can put in the coordinates there and I could initiate a warp somehow. Or warp myself. Okay, pause. And pause. I'm back in a minute. All right. There we go. Why is it saying 1 FPS? Okay, never mind. All right. This better be worth it. First of all, what did it all say? I found the derelict near my vessel deep within dark bramble. I activated a 3-sided pillar on the vessel's bridge that appears to be some sort of input device. The nomad tried to call for help, but the vessel's outgoing message system broke during the crash. I found the recording of the original signal the nomad encountered from the eye of the universe. The nomad were worried the signal might disappear, so they warped before they could tell another clan where they were going. And there is more to explore here. Of course there is. Could as well be the name of the game, or the subtitle. Outer Wilds. There's more to explore here. Outer Wilds, get back in the ship again. Outer Wilds, meditate until next loop. So many good names. What's this direction? Wait, no, where? How long? Pause. Where is it this time? Why is it up there now? Did we come in a different angle? This light. Oh, still getting closer to it this way. I find it incredibly confusing if the wall is at the ceiling. I don't know why that is so troublesome. So very not used to this. Okay. That's our path. Oh, it's a rotating stone thing again. Oh my god. Outer Wilds. Watch out for Surprise Ash Twin. I think it was Surprise Ember Twin, wasn't it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is the trigger? Oh, seriously, where is it? There it is. I know I need to be going for the red light, but I will use the safe route via the escape pod. Where I know... Where is it actually? There it is. Through the roots. Okay, we can put this way now. Up. Because this route, we know it's actually not infested. We've been here before. Doesn't mean it's not terrifying. There we go. Also, we do need to go here actually to fire this the scout, because that we need that in the next room to locate the ship. So like this. No. Like this. No. Like this. There we go. Yeah. And now for the next part of the route we need to get stuck on these vines. Or I'm actually going to go around. Or through here. And there we go. Easy peasy. Okay, I feel like this part is entirely unencumbered. Oh, this part is super not. Wait. Shit. There was another room here. I forgot about this. You can try to keep to the wall. Okay, never mind. Was that there last time? I don't remember that. I don't like this part. Honestly, I don't feel it would have taken anything away from this game to just have Dark Bramble without the anglerfish. Just concoct some other reason why Feldspar cannot get out of there. For the Noma, it's just energy loss. For Feldspar, we can come up with a reason. Maybe he crashed or whatever because he didn't expect a warp or whatever. They're actually narratively unnecessary, I feel. It's more fun. Well, for you, maybe. I mean... Is it really fun for you to watch me for 30 minutes try to steer really carefully? I don't know. I don't feel so, but yes, it is fun. I love what it's that's true, yeah. Yeah, that is correct. Where is it this time? Up again. Yeah, the role of knowledge barrier is important. It's mostly fun because it's the pain, so we had to it's the pain we had, so we relate. Okay, we'll wait for that next opening and then we'll go in. Getting my evening reminders now. Where is it? There. It's 11 p.m. It is. I have a thing I need to do every day before midnight. Fill out a questionnaire and an app for a study I'm participating in. And because of things like this, I keep forgetting about it. I usually do it after I'm done with whatever I'm doing in the evening. And then you have stuff that just takes until after midnight. So I have a checkpoint for actually going in if I haven't done it. But I had done it already before I started the stream, so it's okay today. Yeah, there it is. Doesn't matter. Have a seat this time? Alright, with this seat it's going directly through. Okay, I see. From this angle, but... no, other way. Get out of the way. Oh my god, I'm getting myself stuck again. Oh no. Why am I so unclever about this? We'll go around. We'll just go around. What is this? Why is this floating here? Go away. What is this? What is this space debris shit? Get out of here. Okay. Oh right, this is where I need to yeet myself past, right? Oh, I remember. Yeah. I remember now. And I didn't go in with nearly enough. Yeah, I just saw a message afterwards. Fantastic. I remember this part. Now I remember it. Once again, I'm going so slowly. Okay, we'll be here for a bit. I'm actually out of drink. I had a liter bottle full of water. I did drink a little of it for dinner. But most of it on stream. Please tell me I'm making literally any sort of progress towards these eggs. Okay, they're coming into view. Stay hydrated. Exactly. They are coming closer. I'm seeing anti-aliasing artifacts on the text, so I know I'm still moving. Yeah, I feel I'm... there's... I do have to run, but good luck with this loop. When's the next stream, if I may ask? It's in the corner there. It says live Monday and Wednesday, 8 PM CET. That's usually the rule. On Sunday I had a bonus stream. I just couldn't help myself from playing. So that's something that could happen. Yeah, but Monday is the next planned thing. If we finish today, I have something else lined up. You can check back the VOD of this stream for the rest. When I do finish the game, or when I do finish a game, there's always the announcement of the next game coming at the end of the stream. Okay, so we are through here. But yeah, have a nice evening, day. How does Maddie say have a nice time zone? Okay, so now we're out of the woods. Well, not literally, but you know what I mean. That very short flinch each time when I'm wondering whether I have my suit on, because I'm not in the routine of checking anymore. But I do have a good routine of putting it on right when I get into the ship, so that helps. Music is quite loud right now. Can I please turn upside up? Oh, right side up, isn't it, right? Okay, so now... stop. Alright. Here goes nothing. Yeah, that's lighting up when I do that. Now what? There's like a thing missing. Wait, what is... What is this? Pick up warp core. Insert warp core. I mean, it looks broken, but may as well give it a try. We have this thing also. But I don't know what it does. I mean, this thing looks burned through. Right? It has damage to it. Do they have a functioning warp core somewhere else? Oh, there's more text here also. Like a big report, possibly. To any Nomai clans whose vessels can hear this message. It's clear the universe is dying. There are fewer and fewer resources and safe places within space now, so my clan and I believe the best option is for all of our clans to stay together. If we can reach the gloaming galaxy, we found that Blackrock's sun are fairly stable and life in the star system is comparatively thriving. We live in relative safety. If you prefer to continue exploring alone, know you will be on your own. Kana, we'll be making our way to you. It's good to hear from you, Bromy. We'll watch for your vessel. Has anyone heard from Neem? His clan was on its way to our vessel, but they never arrived, and he hasn't sent any messages. I'm beginning to worry. That is unsettling. It reminds me of that old myth my grandfather used to tell, the disappearance of Xyrill. Wait, what? Hold on, pause. They have the story here of how... They have the story here of how Askel's vessel, which is this vessel right here, how it is a fairy tale, basically. I remember hearing that story as a child. One day, Askel's vessel simply stopped responding. The other clans searched and searched, but found no trace. It was as if their missing friends had warped out of existence. That's no myth, friends. Askel's clan existed and the story was real. What a curious event to have passed into myth. Our ancestors were told that story when they were young. Are you sure it's true, Hyssop? Oh, come on. It was a very long time ago, but yes. My clan's ancestors searched for Askel's clan for a long time, but in the end none of them were ever seen again. It's the only time in our history a vessel has ever disappeared this way. Hyssop, I hope you aren't comparing Askel's vessel to my clan's... Askel's story to my clan's vessel. Nee, my friend, we feared you were gone. Not yet. We aren't, but nearly. We found trouble during our warp. The triple suns of the bright Spark star system exploded, and it was only a lucky coincidence we weren't caught in the blast. We'll meet you soon, Kenna. I'm relieved your clan is safe, Neem. It's good to hear your words. Any vessels nearby, remember to be extremely cautious of potentially unstable stars, which is most of them now. That's something that Chert was saying, that usually they observe a few supernova, like, once in a while, and on that day, when the time loop happens, they'd seen 4 supernovas in a day. Or supernovae. Huh. Now where would I get a warp core? Please tell me I get a warp core here and not somewhere else that I need to bring within the time limit. Because I fear that's going to be the thing. Oh, I don't even have my light on. Not seeing any warp cores just floating around here, and I don't think they will be floating outside randomly. Come just... That's a dead end. We really only have this room to work with. I don't think they're keeping any spare warp cores just... lying around here. I mean, if anything, the Nomai do build very durable technology, so... Oh, that's a recording. That's some sort of projection device. What? How's that velocity matching? I'm nearly out of fuel already, which is not good. And I didn't watch the time when I started the loop, which is very bad. Especially if I'm wasting fuel like this, then... Actually, I know how this looks. I will put it... Can I put it even... Can I put it down? Thank you. Hello? I can't. Fantastic. And I'm walking in absolutely the wrong way. Hold on. I actually need to put this in here so I can just stop holding it. Yeah, I need to get back to the ship. And be a bit more clever about steering. Thing is, when everything is an angle, you don't have one direction to be moving it, it's always two, which is a bit of an issue. What is going on with their ship having conversations about their own disappearance just on the wall? What the shit? Okay. What's that about? Okay, it doesn't say more to explore here. The vessel's warp course long dead. They did say they're building new warp cores for the Ash Twin project. So is the end game we need to get one of these? Can I get... The warp cores are installed not at the receiver, not at the spiral pattern. They are installed at the... at where the warp originates. Quote unquote the thing that's turning, like Whitehall Station. Or all the towers on Ash Twin. There's new text in the log, was updating on off screen. Alright. Yeah, some sort of input device. Nobody tried to call for help. The vessel can still hear incoming messages from other Nomai vessels. The remaining Nomai clans are regrouping in response to the impending death of the universe. Yeah. So that's loop number 18 for today. I feel inclined to say that may be the last loop for today. My plan is that I will have a look at Whitehall Station and see if I can find a warp core there to take out somehow. Because the thing is, I could also go looking on Ash Twin, but then I need to wait for the towers to become uncovered before I can even attempt to go in there. And even then I didn't see anything like that. I feel Whitehall Station is the best probability because I don't think I consciously looked for something like that yet. Now we're seeing the frames drop as the black hole scrolls by. Come on. There we go. Oh no. Fantastic. Okay, let's fall through the black hole first. And get our bearings. Where is that white hole station? There it is. Let's park here. Yeah, look, it has walkable surfaces on the outside. Why would you have that? Let's do this on. Where's it sparking? Over here. There we go. Now, why would you have walkable surfaces on here? Unless you wanted people to walk on here. If I was a warp core, where would I be hiding? Is the next question. So we have this entrance. We have the other entrance on the other side, right? This one, that is also open, right? Can I not focus on this? Oh. Okay, then I'll focus on the ship instead. If I were a warp core, where in the F would I be hiding? This is like where we actually shoot out. Wait, did they actually say no? They said black hole core and black hole core and white hole core. So maybe we wouldn't even have a warp core in here. Hello, the rich killer. How are you doing? I'm mighty confused. Yeah. I don't see anything resembling a warp core here. Oh, I don't want to do this. I mean, I can... I'm now slightly worried, now that I think about it, that I'm going to knock away my ship. Because it is somewhere here. Okay, no, it seems to be fine. Also, I shouldn't be standing in the warp. I don't want to warp, actually. I want to look around more. Yeah. Yeah, I'm deep in thought. I feel like I'm so close to the end, and I just don't see it right now. So this is the last thing that I'm doing today is I'm trying to see if I can get a warp core from this station by just seeing a place where I can pull it out. And I think I probably should be looking at this end now, because when it's turning, obviously that only makes a difference on the outside of the rotational axis. Like I put myself in here and we stop. Can you please check the space log next time? I'll see where you're at. The only question marks that I currently have is Sun Station and I think that's the only question mark field that I have. There's a yellow thing like more to explore for Sunless City, right next to it. Yeah, Sun Station is the one thing I haven't accessed yet. Ashton Project, right? Yeah, Ashton Project also has question mark on it. So I feel like since that's a question mark, okay, I cannot see anything of the like here. Yeah, so that's a little bit bad. So that's the situation. There's, yeah, this is the open stuff. Sunless City has a yellow dot. Sun Station is question mark. Ashton Project is question mark. Have you been to the Ashton Project? That was probably not your intention, but that confirms that I can actually get there. What else could I... Is there anything quick I could try today? Or we may need to get back to this on Monday. And I remember someone, possibly multiple people, said when that there may be people that, or there have been people, if you're stuck, I suggest reading the log. I feel like, yeah, you're right, but I don't know. So we were on the vessel just before, and I put in the coordinates, but it didn't do anything. And I'm thinking that's because the warp core that was there, I put it back in, but it was broken. So I actually need a new warp core. Does it say here? Yeah, the vessel's warp core is long dead, so I need a new one. I know they were making warp cores in... This is not a quickly getting it done today situation. Okay. Okay, then we'll just leave it off here. Rich Killer has a fascinating talent to just come in when I'm ending it off somehow. It's probably just your time zone or something. Yeah, so the vessel is an unsolved thing. Hold on, I will actually write this down, how I get to the vessel, so I don't get eaten by... Yeah. Beacon. Then again, follow the beacon to port. Go to Dead Nomai. Fire the scout. Then red light. Go in with speed. I'm going to write, because that's the tedious part and the thing that I forget about. Then we go to the caviar, and then we go to the vessel. Yeah, so I know the coordinates to input. I have them over here. These ones. That's pretty clear that I need to be inputting them there. That's a pretty clear lock and key situation. Sunless City, it has more to explore, and I think, was it Kurt or was it Fern who said it may be a bug that it's still showing this thing, but they won't tell me until I have explored the other things, which I'm going to assume means Sun Station. I have seen the warp tower that goes to Sun Station. I haven't seen a path where I can actually get into the room where the warp field is. Like the platform you need to step onto. That's a big issue. That's basically why I can get there, as far as I understand. Yeah, so that's how that links up. Yeah, and that's the one big question mark. And then obviously I have no way of getting into the Ash Twin project. I understand it's in the core of Ash Twin. I understand it's hermetically sealed. So I probably have to warp there somehow. I mean, I have projection stones. I've seen it multiple times, but and I feel, yeah, I need to go there to actually uncover that question mark. Yeah, so that's the rundown of what is missing. Those are the missing pieces. Yeah, let's just put this down for now. I'll come back to it on Monday.